Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you here for the Fantasy Springs Resort Casino in Indio, California, USA. Tonight, Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions, in association with Lee Baxter Promotions, proudly presents to you the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of world-class professional boxing for the WBA Gold Welterweight Championship. Live around the world on Dazn, where it's always fight season. Sponsored to you by Hennessy. Never stop, never settle. And odds for tonight's fights are brought to you by Bet Online. This championship attraction is sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission, the executive officer, Andy Foster, and the chairman, John Carvelli. Also sanctioned by the World Boxing Association, WBA President Gilberto Mendoza Jr. The three judges scoring this contest at ringside are Max DeLuca, Dr. Lou Moret, and Pat Russell. And the third man inside the ring at the sound of the bell, our championship referee, Jack Reese. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 12 rounds of championship action. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 diamonds, 1 ring tonight. Who will shine the brightest? Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, it's golden time! Introducing to you first tonight, fighting out of the blue corner, the challenger, accompanied by his trainer, Bones Adams. Wearing black with gold lettering tonight, he officially weighed in at 146.6 pounds. He's a veteran in the ring and holds an impressive record, 31 victories, 14 wins by way of knockout, 5 defeats and 2 draws. He's the 2-time NABA welterweight champion, fighting out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, by way of Bogota, Colombia. Here is Samuel Vargas. And across the ring tonight, fighting out of the red corner, with trainer Vergil Ortiz Sr. Wearing the black trunks tonight, he officially tipped the scales at 147 pounds. Tonight, he steps onto the canvas perfect. 15 bouts, 15 victories, 15 wins by way of knockout. Introducing to you the reigning, the defending WBA Gold Welterweight Champion, the fighting pride of Grand Prairie, Texas, USA, the phenomenal Vergil Ortiz Jr. And a referee to give the final instructions, Jack Reese.
Put the mouthpiece in, please. Mouthpiece. Okay, Vergil, your trunks are fine. Sammy's trunks are, no, they're fine too. Okay, I gave you both instructions in the dressing room. I want to remind you, please listen and follow my commands. Step back a little bit. Protect yourself at all times. Fight hard, fight clean. Good luck to both of you.
It is main event time. Can Samuel Vargas take Ortiz into uncharted territory, or will he just become victim number 16 on the Ortiz Knockout Express? Here we go, 12 rounds in the welterweight division. Ortiz Jr. wearing the white gloves, Samuel Vargas wearing black gloves. What are you looking for early here from Vargas to let you know he's going to be game tonight?
Well, I know he's going to be game. He's experienced. He has a good chin. He's durable. He's tenacious. And I expect him not to get in a firefight with a bigger, stronger puncher. I expect him to go into the middle rounds and not get it with anything big too early.
He was not impressed by what he saw from Ortiz Jr. How he couldn't be, I don't know. But he thinks he's been matched the right way, very carefully. He thinks that his skills will cause serious problems for the 22-year-old. Ortiz Jr. hasn't fought in over 200 days. You expect to see some ring rust from him.
Now, usually with power punchers, you don't have much ring rust. It's mostly with boxers that are relying on timing. But Victor Ortiz, you know, he has that foundation. He has that pure punching ability. So no, I don't expect him to be too rusty in there. Good shot right now. Power jab followed by left hook.
And if you're just joining us, Ortiz Jr. putting Trevel Maison's name on his trunks. The late Trevel Maison, who died last week. Tonight would have been his birthday. Right hand moves Vargas back, although it didn't seem to hit his gloves. When you've got power like Ortiz Jr., you're just one punch away.
You can see the power even when he misses in Ortiz. He rotates and torques his entire waist and torso. It's a beautiful miss, is what it is.
And Vargas knew how strong of a puncher Ortiz Jr. is. He goes, listen, this guy's going to put on probably 20 pounds after the weigh-in. He's going to be a big boy. I've just got to work him to the body, stay in the fight to the late rounds, and then put him away as he eats a right hand and now a jab.
Look at that, Vargas with his hands up, and he's still getting rocked by those shots. They're blocked shots, but they're still effective. That's why I always say when fighters keep their gloves up, it may look like they're blocked, but they're still doing damage. You're still feeling them. And Vargas, you can see by the reddening in his face and the reaction, how he's looking, that even though he's getting blocked, they hurt.
You talked about angles. You saw one there from Ortiz Jr. Trying to move him, pawing the way with the left hand.
Hey, if the referee's not going to say nothing, go ahead and do it.
Already some blood on the face of Vargas.
That's it right there. Just all you gotta do is start. Don't start. Just catch him hard. That jab, it's off the jab. Don't. And he's already showing that to you. See how he's portraying face? He's already showing it to you. So once you don't change the time on that right hand. Now delay it just to hear him, and then add something else, right? But you've seen it already. He's already turning now. There goes all your moves already now. Okay? He's done. He's already done. He's already scared. He's too much power. Now it's about picking him apart little by little, and then you can finish him. Okay? How you feel?
Tennis bucket, Big Search? Tennis bucket?
Keep him at a 2 though, and just keep.
No.
And look at this, Todd. This is what I was talking about. He's not just a power puncher. He gets that angle. He stepped back just to get that
Virgil,
slight
mouthpiece,
angle
second
and
round.
land that left
Sammy,
hook and that straight right
mouthpiece,
hand.
second
And right
round.
there, pivoting to the left of Vargas just to get another angle on him. Very impressive.
Keep in mind, Robert Garcia not in the corner of Ortiz Jr. tonight. It's his dad taking over. Good stiff jabs from Ortiz Jr. There's been a lot of conversation about who's the bigger prospect or who's going to have the bigger career from the Golden Boy stables. Ortiz lands a nice right hand. Is it going to be Ryan Garcia or is it going to be Ortiz Jr.? I asked Vergil, and he said, listen, I think that Ryan Garcia is better looking and is going to have a better career outside the ring. But when it comes inside the ring, I would take me.
And yeah, I actually did a couple of interviews, and I said the exact same thing. Longevity is going to be on Vergil Ortiz because Ryan Garcia has other aspirations of movies or modeling underwear. I don't know what it is, Todd, but this man just has one thing on his mind. That's destruction and destroy. In the famous words of Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Good body shots here by Samuel Vargas on the inside.
That's what he told us he'd have to do. You can see the redness, you can see the swelling, blood already coming out of the nose of Vargas. But he is rugged. Amir Khan put him on his backside. Vargas got up and then knocked Khan down and almost put him away. I believe it was in the 10th round, and the bell saved Amir Khan.
Yeah, both times he hurt Amir Khan. He said he got saved by the bell, but that's boxing for you. It was an overhand right that caught Vargas in the same round that he went down. Good body shots. I like the body work here by Samuel Vargas, which is exactly what he needs to do with Ortiz.
If you were fighting Ortiz, would you try and pressure him, try and mix the game plan up, or would you try and fight off your back foot?
Well, that's my style, fighting off the back foot, but in the inside, I would definitely dig into the body and get angles as well. you know, it's a misconception that, you know, you can't back up a fighter like that always makes a career coming forward. Like Gennady Golovkin, as example, he doesn't know how to fight going backwards, but it's easier said than done. It's hard to move a monster like that. It's the same thing with Vergil Ortiz.
Ortiz Jr. certainly doesn't have the social media following as Ryan Garcia, but he has been posting videos of himself playing piano and guitar, and he said, one of the things I'm most proud of that I did during this COVID break was that I learned to play Black Sabbath's Paranoia. It took me 9 years to learn that song.
He's intelligent, very impressive young man, articulate, smart, considerate, and a beast.
Time.
Good job. A lot better round. Mouthpiece in, take it out. A lot better round, all right? Good work. I need split bucket. Hey, listen. You're gonna do that 1-6-1. You're leaving the right hand naked, all right? You gotta come back with that jab. Come back with the jab because the jab, he's waiting, he's trying to time that jab. You're going like this, so leave the right hand to your body, and your left hand down, so you gotta come back with that jab, the power jab, all right? You got you. Step right.
Look, here we see Samuel Vargas have success going downstairs to the body, which is what he needs to do, but look at his face. It's getting a little bit bloody, and that jab right there opened up the blood on Vargas right there, but that's what he's gonna have to do. Go through the fire if he's gonna want to beat Vergil Ortiz Jr. It's gonna be painful. It's not gonna be pretty.
Good.
Good start for Ortiz Jr. You got to believe he won both of the first 2 rounds. So we start here in the 3rd.
He may have won the rounds, but Samuel Vargas had success, especially with the body.
Ortiz Jr. told us his game plan was based on the fact that Vargas would come at him and be right there to hit. And so far, that's exactly where Vargas has been.
That power jab, snapping the head back. Look at Vergil Ortiz's back foot. This is why I compared him to Felix Trinidad. He has that sprinter stance. He's not on the heel of his foot. He's on the ball, on the toe of his foot, ready to come over the top of a lazy jab of Vargas. Just like Tito Trinidad used to do. A sprinter stance.
That jab is really scoring for Ortiz Jr.
The power jab. That's exactly what took Solomon out in his last fight. He was having difficulty, you know, trying to get the knockout with Brad Solomon, but it ultimately was a power jab that did it. Ortiz is looking for a counter right over a lazy jab of Vargas. You can see it by the way he's getting on the back foot.
Vargas continuing to go downstairs.
On him, stop. You see what I'm saying?
I waited.
Okay, no, but he's got his back to you. You can't spin him around and then wait. He's got his back.
I waited.
It's not point. You can't spin him. You understand?
Right.
All right, box.
I
talk about it in the
Todd,
corner.
I gotta say, Todd, I love and respect Jack Reese, but yes, he can turn him around. That's a beautiful pivot. I love that. I love that move by Vergil Ortiz.
Some would say he shouldn't have warned Ortiz Jr. He should have warned Vargas for turning his back.
I would love to see Ortiz do that again. That's a beautiful angle. You can't use your hands to maneuver and do it, but if you can do it with your feet, that's beautiful.
If this turns into a jab contest, Ortiz Jr. is going to win handily.
Oh, he's gonna.
Oh, there's that right. Been holding it back. There it is again, and again, and again. He is unloaded now.
Don't hit him in the rib. Oh, stop. Say you don't hit him in the kidney.
Oh, he's battering.
I can't hit him in the kidney, man.
Ortiz Jr. has never been past the 6th round. Nice sticking and moving.
He's looking so sharp, man. I mean, he's punching and dipping. For a power puncher that's always offensive-minded, he still thinks about the defense and the punches coming back. Just very impressive on Ortiz's part.
But the turn's fine. Just a little turn a little bit, all right? That way you just catch.
I'm gonna explain. You can spin him and get the hell out of the way, but you can't turn him completely around to where his back's facing you, and then okay, I'll wait for him to turn around. You can't do that. Creates an advantage. Are we clear?
Yeah, I was just waiting for you to say something. I promise that's all that was.
That's cool.
Let's go. It's cool. It's just a little turn, half a turn. That's it. And then you're able to catch him. But now you start picking this motherfucker up.
Here's what I told you, Todd, that he keeps his foundation and his balance. Right here, Vergil Ortiz jabbing away, not breaking the distance, not falling off balance. And look at these right hands. Consistent right hands. 1, 2, 3. Not falling off balance. That's very hard to do right there. Still getting an angle. 4,
Number
5,
4, guys.
6. Coming up short with that left hook, but that's impressive because it's foundation and balance.
Ortiz Jr. having a fight with Samuel Vargas and a debate with Jack Reese.
Sammy, you gotta keep your head up. Can't do that.
The over-under set by Las Vegas, 3.5 rounds. Let's see if Vargas can survive another minute and a half.
Get him up, Sammy.
Get out. There you go.
Ortiz told us the best part of his game is his ring IQ, the way he can adapt on the fly.
And that statement is impressive as it is. With the power that he has, the devastating punching power that he has, for him to say that you know, to keep his cool and disciplined, which is his main attribute, it just goes to show you the mind frame and the temperament of this young man.
Again, Vargas going to the body. Nice little left hook. Not much behind it. Certainly not compared to Vergil Ortiz Jr.'s punches. But to be fair, Vargas admitted, listen, I may not win some of these early rounds, but that's by design. I'm going to catch fire around round 6, 7, and 8. That's when I'm going to do my damage. But can he make it that long?
When I asked Vergil Ortiz what's his biggest talent, I thought he was going to say a left hook or a right hand. He said, I improvise. That's how I dismantle my opponents. I just improvise and beat them down mentally. And that just shows you the class and the mind frame of this young stud.
Ortiz Jr., a 7-time national amateur champion, won gold at the 2013 Junior Olympics. And he's firing away now. Vargas stumbles backwards. Here comes the pain. Ortiz Jr., right hand, and Vargas wobbles.
Stop. Let him go.
It was a
Jamie, let him
right
go.
hand to the left side of
Now let him go when I
Vargas'
say
temple
let go.
that started the onslaught. And there's that chopping right hand again. Vargas better be careful not dipping to that same side.
Yeah, Vargas can't afford to trade shot for shot.
Nice little shoulder roll by Vargas right there. There it is again. It's a slight little shoulder roll, and he comes back like James Toney with a little sneaky uppercut to the body. Samuel Vargas does.
Nope.
Uppercut for Vargas.
And there it is again. He already caught on to the right hand of Ortiz. Ortiz should concentrate on a left hook or a body shot right here.
Stop. Get him. I want him in now. Get in. Come on.
How you feeling? Good.
Hold on. Back up.
Full time, you'll have a full minute with him. I just
Yeah.
want the doctor
So just back,
stay
no,
right
just
there. Stay right
back
there.
up this way.
Sammy, I just want to
Hey,
check you.
roll.
Listen to me.
Time out.
It was accidental headbutt. You
Back him
guys
up.
collided. I just want the doctor to talk to you. You took a lot of heavy shots in that thing from the beginning to now. So I just wanted to check you, okay?
You'll get your minute.
You'll get your minute. Just stay back for 1 second. I'm having a doctor check him. I'm having a doctor check him. Are we clear on everything, though? Yeah. You can't create an advantage with what you do. Yeah, that's accidental. That's going to be accidental.
Let's listen to what some of these punches sound like with no crowd.
All right, stop. Let him go. Sammy, let him go.
And then look,
Accidental headbutt.
and then throw that right hand, all right? But don't start committing to long hard because That's the only way he's gonna survive is by trying to work you out. Okay?
Hey, remember, change up the right hand. If he's doing this, remember? Boom, boom, boom. All right?
Okay.
Change the timing on that.
Yeah, change the timing. Once you come here, then pause it, then he's gonna turn and then boom. All right, catch him, but that motherfucker's up to the button.
So remember, we gotta take our time. Let him give it to him. Take it away from him.
All right, mouthpiece good. Too loud. Let's go.
All right.
Good, 5.
Remember, make a mess. Make a mess.
Jack Reese already calling the doctor into check on Samuel Vargas, saying he took a lot of heavy punches in that round.
And Vargas smiling in the corner, saying it's all right. He was rolling with them shots, and I noticed that he was rolling with them shots too, so I would like to see Vergil Ortiz switch it up, not just throw those right hands anymore. Get an angle, start using the left hook or uppercuts.
Or just continue with the jab.
Or just continue with the power jab. It's a shotgun jab, absolutely. And that's exactly what they said. Vergil Ortiz Sr. in the corner, do a 1-2-1. You know, it's end it with a power jab, just like he caught Brad Solomon.
That chicken, boy.
Let's see if Vargas can settle into this round after taking a lot of abuse in round 4. Power punches through 4. 69 for Valdez and Morales. Obviously, that should be Ortiz Jr. and Vargas. Let's check in now with Beto Duran.
And Vergil's dad / trainer told him, don't throw just power punches. Box him, mix in something to the body. He said that last round, his son was throwing too many power shots trying to knock him out. He's like, that wasn't the game plan to knock him out early. It was to come in, box, break him down, not knock him out on one punch. He said he wants to see his son boxing more, and that's what he's doing this round.
Maybe he was listening to you, Sergio.
I love that advice, and that's exactly, Daddy knows best. I'm telling you, Senior told him exactly what he needed to hear. Because Vargas caught on to those right hands, and he was just rolling with the shots. They weren't landing cleanly, they were bouncing off the shoulder. So that would tire out a power puncher if he keeps throwing the same shot with the same kind of power. So great advice by Vergil Ortiz Sr. in the corner.
Vargas showing a lot of spunk here in the 5th round. His best round to date.
And not for nothing, I mean, Samuel Vargas has a legit and really respected corner as well, with Bones Adam giving some great advice as well.
Oh, even better.
Power jab indeed, snapping the head back of Samuel Vargas. And again, the corner of Vargas doing a nice job stopping that blood flow. Pouring out of his nose early.
Both of them exchanging big shots right there. Both
Let his arm out.
missing,
spin
but that
around,
would have been
step back.
over for somebody.
It's over.
Round 6. A lot of people didn't think we'd see this round, Sergio.
Well, none of Vergil Ortiz's opponents have gone past 6, so don't speak too soon, Todd.
It was almost like Ortiz Jr. took the last round off, being much more aggressive here in the early stages of the 6th.
Well, he took the advice of his corner, and that's what he did. He took that round off. He was boxing, moving backwards, not being the aggressor, conserving his energy for the later rounds, because Vargas not going anywhere, it looks like. And that was Vargas' game plan. He's going through the fire, exactly what he needs to do to beat a young power puncher like Ortiz. You got to go through the fire, and he did that the first half of the fight.
Well, big picture, you know that Oscar De La Hoya would love to see how Ortiz handles adversity, see how he handles some of these later rounds, because we simply don't know how he'll do after the 6th round.
Love that angle. See that? It was a feint just to get that angle on Vargas. Vargas didn't fall for it, but the fact that Ortiz tried just shows you his experience. He's fighting IQ.
Stop.
High level.
Let each other go. Let each other go. Come on. Sammy, you gotta let him go.
A good performance thus far for Samuel Vargas. And, you know, maybe he won that last round. Did you give it to him, Sergio?
Well, it was his best round. I mean, if we're going to give him one, that's going to be it. Or did Victor Ortiz just take that round off? Either way, it was a good round for Vargas. There's that underrated defense that Vergil Ortiz talks about. It's just slight little moves where he bends his back, he bends his waist. He doesn't really have to bend down too much, just enough for the punch to miss.
Ortiz Jr. had 160 amateur fights, winning 140 of them. This is his 5th appearance here on Dazn, his 6th appearance at Fantasy Springs Casino. He's very comfortable in these confines.
Again, he lands a power jab, sends blood flying from Vargas' mouth just with the power jab.
Some of the fighters that Ortiz Jr. would love to face have already squared off against Samuel Vargas, most notably Errol Spence Jr., Luis Calazo, Amir Khan, Danny Garcia.
Did it make a mess of it, Mari?
I need ice here.
Alright, do ice right.
My bicep.
Spit out.
Anything?
Listen, you gotta throw that straight right hand up. It's there. You gotta step both feet just like you practice, right? Step straight in. And you're not doing any shifts and shit like that on the inside.
Wipe him down a little bit on his body.
Alright.
And look at this shift right here, trying to get an angle.
kid.
Even a power
kid.
puncher can do that. Mike Tyson used to be great at this. Get an angle on the power shots, both sides, left and right. Vergil Ortiz very impressive with not only counter punching, but trying to find them power angles.
Okay, on the inside.
7. 7.
Round 7. Vergil Ortiz Jr. boldly going where he's never gone before. Uncharted territory for this 22-year-old sensation. Do you think the game plan for Vargas is working right now?
Well, I would think this is exactly what it would look like, having to go through the fire in the first half of the fight, then picking it up on the second half, and hopefully where your experience kicks in. He already went through the fire. I mean, he took some big shots from Vergil Ortiz, and he's still here. It just shows you the determination and the toughness of Vargas. Now he needs the experience to kick in.
Good job, Phil. Good job, Phil.
And remember, it was Vargas that told us that he said Vergil Ortiz struggled to make weight. So if that's the case, this is where Vergil Ortiz should be losing strength and speed and all that.
Vargas having a laugh, but he's not smiling now as the 22-year-old starts to unload. Catching him with a left hand, rising up, and down goes Vargas, and he takes Ortiz Jr. with him.
Vargas,
no knockdown.
Vargas
Go in that corner.
tackling
Hey,
Ortiz right there
You
with
hurt
the
you too.
sharp.
You wasted your time tackling him. Don't do that again. You understand?
Yeah, I felt that.
The bullshit. Box.
That's a veteran move by a veteran right there.
Jack Reese calls yes on Vargas.
Stop. Let him go. Box.
Vargas still not right. Oh, a big lead uppercut. You saw blood come shooting out of Vargas's mouth.
I can see Samuel Bones Adams and Vargas' corner stopping this fight. He's taking too much punishment here.
Well, he knew he'd have to take the punishment, Sergio.
No,
this is too much.
Fight him, get out. Doc.
Jack Jack Reese doing the right thing right now, already calling the doctor. There's too much punishment right here, Ty.
Nice right hand to the body. This could be the beginning of the end for Samuel Vargas. Under a minute to go in round 7. Vargas still talking trash. He said, come on, hit me.
And they don't make that. That's as tough as they make him, Samuel Vargas. That's a big shot.
Oh, this downstairs too. And this is not where Vargas wants to be, backed up against the ropes.
And Jack Reese is giving him an opportunity just because he's so tough and determined, Vargas is, but that's way too much punishment.
Let him go. Let him go. Box. Stop at the bell. Oh. Stop. That's it, man. I've seen enough. I'm sorry, bro. Taking a beating these last couple rounds, bro. I've seen enough.
And
Sorry.
Jack Reese has indeed ended this contest.
It was the right call by Jack Reese at the right time because Vargas was not going to give up. They don't make him like Vargas, man. This is old school toughness right there. He wasn't going anywhere. And if Bondada was going to stop this fight, Jack Reese would.
16-0 with 16 knockouts. Vergil Ortiz Jr. has done it again. But credit to Vargas, who took it further than anyone else has.
What round was that?
Sergio, but you think it was the right call?
Absolutely it was the right call. I mean, he was just taking way too much punishment. Ortiz Jr. is already a hard puncher as it is. He was putting everything behind those shots. In combinations and single hard shots in the body, downstairs. I mean, this fight needed to get stopped. Vargas wasn't going anywhere, and Jack Reese did exactly what he had to do.
That's the earlier takedown attempt by Vargas. It could have been ruled a knockdown.
No, he tackled him. He held his feet right there, which was a sly and veteran move on Vargas' part. But you know, you have to do what you got to do when you're hurt. But it's these shots right here that are clean and landing by the power puncher of Vergil Ortiz.
And right at the end of the round, right when the bell rings, Reese steps in. And that's it. Vergil Ortiz Jr., how would you rate the performance?
Man, I give him an A. I mean, he did everything he had to do to stop Vargas, but Vargas is just one of these tough fighters, these experienced fighters, already been through a fire. So, you know, fire's not gonna do anything for them. So I give Ortiz an A here. He did what he had to do. He went to the 7th round. He still got the stoppage. Becomes the 3rd fighter to stop Samuel Vargas alongside 2 champions in Danny Garcia and Errol Spence. So for Vergil Ortiz, the young up-and-coming future contender, future champion, to stop him, that just shows his championship quality.
Jeremiah Gallegos makes it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, from here at the Fantasy Springs Resort Casino, the official time comes to you at this end, 2:58, round number 7. For your winner by KO and still undefeated, the reigning WBA Gold Welterweight Champion, the fighting pride of Grand Prairie, Texas, the phenomenal Vergil Ortiz Jr.